Alright, here's a little simple mod. If you're like me and you suffer the excruciating detail of everything, then this will be of some interest to you. I obviously have a couple of Gibsons right now, but the switch tips sometimes come in black, but on some of the nicer models they're in cream or that sort of old orangey color. Anyway, so you can just unscrew these. If I would get into the frame, you can just unscrew those. Now I've already done the one on my SG, but I thought, oh, you know what, this would be a neat little, because I've done this like a zillion times. But this is for those of you sitting at home and you want this part right now, and maybe you're like me, you're a little bit of a DIYer and you have a few of these bits laying around that you're going to need to do this. But it's really, this couldn't be more simple to do. So just grab a little bit of 400 grit sandpaper. Okay, so all I've done to set my one up is you can rig this up however you want, just so I don't have to touch it. I just taped a little screw to a little piece of wood so I could hold it out and get all around it. But first thing you want to do is you want to sand all the shine off that. So just go around it really lightly with some 400 grit and just take all the shine off it. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now I'll just put it on the end of my homemade little holder here. And then I'll just clean it with a bit of lighter fluid. Okay. So that's the difference. You want it to go from that to that. Okay, now we're ready for paint. Now since I have a little bit of primer on hand, I'm going to use primer, but you can just buy, like paint primer or Duplico or something like that. But anyway, let's go give her a shot. Alright, let's hit it with a bit of primer. Alright, so once you're done painting it, you're going to want to leave that to dry probably 48 hours. Minimum 24 hours. So I'll just set that aside, and then through the power of the internet, I have one I already did. So you can see here that I can take off the existing black one, put on this beautiful cream one, and there we go. Not very much work later. It's instead of having to wait and order the part, you got one in about a day or so. There you go. And you have fun making the part because it's not that hard. And then you just throw that in your parts bin because you have a spare for the next one. And it goes to say also, you know, if you don't like the color I chose, you're welcome to paint your one whatever color you like, or whatever color of spray paint you can get your hands on. Maybe you don't like traditional colors. Maybe you want to paint it neon glow. So the same process for painting that you can use for pick guards, you can use for any of the plastic. If you wanted to change the color of your pickup rings or something like that even, you could do exactly the same way. And if you use good enough paint quality, then it should last a good long time. Anyway, hope that helps some folks out. Try it out. It's a nice, quick, easy mod. Just like I used to do in my old days when I got started on YouTube.